Stevie boy, G Ditch. Hope you're doing well. Unbanned from YouTube, mate. Unbanned from YouTube. Woke culture is officially dead. Uh, got to work this morning, looked at my phone, realised I had an email from Google, and looked down at my phone and I realised that Google had reinstated my channel after 2 years of fighting with them. And I'm going to tell you why they banned me from YouTube. And fuck them, royally fuck them. I don't care if they ban me again, it doesn't make a difference. I've got 20k followers on TikTok. Um, well, what's the crack? So, 2 years ago, I dropped a video about Brett Weinstein saying that the COVID-19 vaccine had harmed or killed more than 17 million people, and I didn't state it as a fact, I stated it as opinion, actually his opinion. And I came home swimming with my son, and boom, my channel was gone. Fought with him for months, but I realised something was up with my channel whenever I got in contact with Google, a YouTube representative, and they said to me I would get my channel back, and I would hear with them within 48 hours. Within 15 minutes, I received an email saying I'm permanently banned from YouTube and I'm not allowed to be on their platform. And then my other channel, Stray Cabbage, it was taken down for circumvention. I'm also getting that back too. And essentially what's happened here is, love him or hate him, Trump has put pressure on Google to stop this woke bollocks and stop this, the censorship around COVID-19, the vaccines. I'm not going to be self-censoring. The vaccines, the mRNAs, I'm not even going to call them a vaccine, it's an mRNA. Let people have freedom of opinion, freedom of thought. And they said, okay. So I sent them an email saying, can I get my channel back? And lo and behold, here we are now. All good. Just gearing up for a united Ireland, gearing up to get rid of this woke bollocks, gearing up to absolutely obliterate the people that are destroying Europe right now with their censorship, with their big tech censorship, with their, getting people under the thumb because they're going to lose their job. I couldn't give a fuck. It is what it is. I'm ready. We need to destroy these people now. These people have, for the past 10 years, completely ripped our tongue out. And we need to come back. We need to come back and show a force. Listen, there's a lot of stuff going on here in Ireland at the minute. Era, the beautiful island of Era, it's going to be united someday. And we need to have it, we need to have Era tip top for everybody whenever that does happen. Welcome back, Baldy or Stevie boy. Nah, mate, listen, I just skinned the oil nut. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had to skin the oil head, like. Hello, are you from USA? No, I'm from Ireland. I'm Irish. Gia Ditch. But it's been, I've grown, so I've not really been making a lot of content recently, but I've grown a lot on TikTok, so I'm up to 20k followers. I haven't been posting any videos lately on TikTok, but I will be putting out some content for YouTube here because there's a lot of shit that's going on here at the minute. There's a lot of stuff I want to speak about. The assassination of Charlie Kirk, the mysteriousness around that. If you see, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world at the minute with Israel, Palestine. It's all connected to that. Russia, Ukraine, the mRNAs, mass migration, and everything that comes with it. And I really want to take it from a different type of a standpoint because people come on here and bang on about foreigners, and it's not really so much to do with the individual, foreign man and woman, because we're a foreigner when we go to a different country. Do you know what I mean? It's the financial incentives given to these people all over Ireland, Europe. I work with a lot of foreign individuals. I work with two Somalian Muslims, and I would consider them friends. It's nothing to do with any individual people. I respect them fully, but um, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. We're being played. We're being absolutely played. Two of the biggest NGOs within Ireland that advocates for mass migration. They really do advocate for not just mass migration for workers. They advocate for like mass migration of people even just to go on the dole, just to go on social welfare. They're gearing up for a socialistic, communistic, digital ID future, and these people will be used to spearhead this campaign and votes. You're from India. Listen, I work with a couple of Indians too, and they're nice people. I get on well with them. I get on well with them. One of the biggest issues right now we have in Ireland is it's not to do with the individual people coming from different countries. As I say, the Irish people were accepted in all around the world. It's the buying up of our land. We live in a tiny little island. There's 8 million people here, just under 8 million people. We never recovered from the famine, and we need to recover from the famine the right way. This Agenda Ireland 2030, I think it's been pushed back to 2040, to bring in millions and millions of people, but bring in millions and millions of people for the economy to bring Ireland up to pre-famine numbers. And what you're going to do is you're going to completely eradicate our, who we are as a people. We are a homogenous tribe of people. Yes, you can say that we're homogenous in the Germanic gene pool, but we are homogenous as a people. And at the end of the day, we're being called mongrels by our government in the Republic of Ireland. So that's not a government I want to be involved with when a United Ireland does happen. I want to be involved in a nationalistic government that puts its people first and has healthy, good immigration and doesn't teach children that they can mutilate themselves and have woke nonsense in schools. That's not what it's about. Ireland's been through the ringer of it, and we didn't fight the Brits for 800 years to come close to United Ireland just to sell out to the fat cats in Europe, sell our fishing waters off, sell our offshore everything. Just look at the amount of tax people are paying. It's unbelievable. We're being fucked in both ends here, and it needs to stop. India, USA. Look, India. Look, I like anybody. I like Indians. I like Africans. I like Arabs. I like Russians, Ukrainians. I like South Americans. I like people in general. I love to hear people's stories, but I recognize India as a homogenous nation of people. And if India was being like, for instance, when India was being targeted by British rule, and you have thousands, hundreds of thousands of white people coming into the likes of Africa and India, I can recognize that as an absolutely disgusting thing. That they are homogenous people. One of the probably if they didn't go through that that type of colonization in regards to Britain, they would probably still be one of the one of the wealthiest countries in the world. But people just need to stay out of other people's business. Ireland is a homogenous nation. Europe is a homogenous nations of tribes, and the Indians are being called mongrels. The Europeans are being called mongrels. Africans are being called mongrels. And, if we don't adhere to this woke bullshit that's going on around the earth, then you're just ostracized from society, and no more. It's not going to happen anymore because of Trump. People like me are back. Google have had the pressure put on them. There's no love lost between me and Google. They can ban me again for all they want. I don't care, but it is what it is. Yeah, you can visit Ireland. Ireland's nice to visit. But listen, it is what it is. I'm back on the YouTube. I'm not expecting the same traction on YouTube as I would get on TikTok and other social medias. I've grown on X too. I've got a good X account. Um, haven't really been posting lately because I've been working and stuff, but I want to put out more videos on here. There's a lot of shit going on, folks, in the world that is affecting us right now, especially in Ireland. The whole Israel-Palestine thing is affecting Ireland a lot. Not that I don't sympathise with both nations, but you know, there's lots of stuff that's going on in regards to Israel-Palestine. You know, Israel's allowed to be an ethno-state, and that's supported by Western leaders. I have to be very careful what I say here. But whenever I bring up nationalistic views, I'm considered far right. What's that about? Like, two-tier Keir, look who he really is. Look at who two-tier Keir really is. Why is he two-tier? Why is there division within England right now? Think about it. I want you to think about that. There's division within England right now because it's pre-planned division. If you think that these people aren't acting according to their masters, then you're greatly mistaken. These people are 100% controlled puppets. The same as Nigel Farage controlled opposition. If you hold any nationalistic views whatsoever, you're considered far right. And the pro-Palestinian crowd at the minute, they're seeing the brunt end of the censorship, and they need to go through it. They need to see it. The pro-Palestine crowd needs to see what people like myself have been going through for the past 10 years in regards to censorship. I've had massive Facebooks taken down for speaking about what was happening in Palestine years ago, before October 7th, before any of that. Like, so, you know, what we're going through right now is an awakening. Google realizes it. I try to awaken a lot of people in regards to the mRNAs. You know, I want anybody that's watching this now, watching this live or watching this back, I really want you to go and watch my previous video I posted. It says it was posted a year ago, but that was nearly 2 years ago that was posted. And you'll see that that was the video they took me down for, but they've allowed that video back on the platform. Cunts. They took me down for 2 years. How many people out there would have heard my message and not put themselves in harm's way with that mRNA? Like, it's absolutely disgraceful. Well, the India and USA relationship, like, well, I have to be honest with you, mate. I didn't like the H-1B visas. Trump, you know, as much as I'm a supporter of, you know, non-woke bullshit, if you look at the H-1B visas, Trump says, right, we're going to stop at illegal immigration. But then he opened up the H-1B visas to everybody from India to Africa for cheap labour, which basically is going to force wages down in the USA for sort of local men and women. I can't agree with that either. I don't agree. I like that they're allies. I like the fact that but I have to call out the H-1B visas. The H-1B visas was an absolute disgrace. If I was an American, I'd be looking at that going, hold on, so you're going to stop the illegal immigration, but then you're going to give them an opportunity to come in legally, but with the H-1B visas. It didn't make sense to me. I agreed with Nick Fuentes on that one. But this platform isn't the same either. The algorithm shot it. One of the reasons, you have to understand, one of the reasons why YouTube's allowing so many people back on the platform is because they're looking at the numbers. They've crunched the numbers for last season, April to April, and they realise April's coming up, and they know that there's a big downturn in regards to their revenue, because people are opting to go onto the likes of TikTok, Rumble, and other platforms where they can speak freely. You know why? Think about it. The only reason why I'm doing this video was because this is a channel I had 2 years ago. But realistically, if YouTube took this away from me now, it wouldn't make any difference in my life. I would just go back onto TikTok, just go back onto Rumble, and everything would be fine. Well, you know, they're trying to get traction back onto the platform because the woke mind virus literally has destroyed everything. They had. Just think about Bud Light, right? Look at Bud Light. YouTube's going through a Bud Light at the minute, where they got Dylan Mulvaney, a bloke dressed as a woman, and pretends to be a woman, a biological male, in their advertisement, and their base of their customers were all basically men and sort of right-wing men and women. And sure, they lost billions within the first week. Think about that. That's what's happening to YouTube. YouTube is a male-dominated platform. Males don't want to be listening to woke bollocks bullshit, where people's feelings are, you know, people talking about their feelings, even the whole mental health thing. I can't I can't sit here and listen to somebody bang on about mental health, and then you see, well, what's your diet, mate? Oh, well, I drink 2 litres of Coke a day, I smoke 20 cigarettes, I smoke weed, I drink alcohol, I can't get a woman. Oh, mate, well, listen, if I was a woman, I wouldn't go near you either. Do you know what I mean? If I was a woman, I would spit on you. To be honest with you, if I was a woman, I would laugh at you. Your mental health, you're depressed. If you weren't depressed, the National Geographic will have to come in and do studies on you on why you're not depressed, because your lifestyle makes you depressed. All this mental health bollocks. We need to move away from all that bullshit mental health, woke bullshit. Yes, is there mental health issues? Yes, but 99% of it can be fixed. Bonjour. We've got a Frenchman in the house. 99% of mental health issues can be fixed with hard work. It's as simple as that. You give yourself some time to think. Well, you're going to be thinking about all the negative shit. If you're a man and you're not prepared for war, what's coming, folks? Like people really need to understand what's coming here, right? We're in a time right now where all European nations are going through civil unrest. Every single one of them. There's not one European nation right now that's happy with the current situation. And whenever you speak up about it, you're censored. Ireland recently told the EU to go and fuck themselves. The EU, Ireland put the middle finger up to the EU and said, go and fuck yourselves. They told Ireland to bring in hate speech laws. We want tighter hate speech laws. That means controlling speech where I can't come out here and vent my frustrations about the current situation. They wanted me stopped. People like me stopped. Way bigger people than me stopped. And, you know, Ireland, fair play to them. You know, you'd Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, they're coming out and putting the middle finger up and saying, fuck you. And rightly so. Rightly so, because this is going to be one... This is going to be civil war. People don't understand the reality of this. I'm not advocating for civil war. I'm an advocate of democracy, but there will be civil war. There has never been a time in history where the people have been this unhappy about their government in regards to everything: tax, migration, medical decisions, everything in between, woke culture, and there hasn't been a civil war to break out. So the governments are going to have to really get their act together. Mate, listen, I'm fighting a good fight, but I'm fighting a good fight locally. I realise, another thing I need to speak about, all this stupid bullshit that we watch on social media, even TV and all the rest about, people trying to fix things around the world and they can't even fix their own life. There's people out there, mate, on social media, grifters. Decca Higgy is one of them, like one of the biggest grifters imaginable. Like, he puts out videos talking about de-lifing himself just to drive the algorithm towards his channel. Do you know what I mean? He went to prison. I want people to understand the Decca Higgy situation here, right? Decca Higgy went to prison for posting fucking shit online, right? That cunt is convicted of a sexual offence, 2 rape allegations and an allegation of child molestation, right? And he didn't go to prison for any of those things, but he put an opinion online and he went to prison. That's where the morals lie within England. Oh, you have an opinion that goes against the government narrative, straight to prison. Oh, you target women and children, you're all right, mate. You can stay out of prison. Do you know what I mean? I was watching Paul Golding from Britain First and all these people on X sharing Decca's story, and I was like, do you fuckers not have a clue? Do you not have an ounce of 20 seconds of research of this guy and you'll realise that he's a fucking wrong? And we're living in a world of no critical thinking from the left and the right. That's why I never bogged myself down to a right or left thing. But once again, Charlie Kirk, of course it was coming. There's lots of conspiracy theories about that. A big Jewish donor pulled out. He was giving him $3 million annually, and then next minute, I'm not saying they done it, but there's a lot of suspicious activity around that man's murder. Now, more than likely, it was just Antifa, the leftists. I was attacked by Antifa. Whenever I was permanently banned from YouTube and went on to X and TikTok, I recorded all the protests in Ireland, in the south of Ireland there, and I recorded the nationalists, I recorded Antifa. Antifa attacked me. I only asked them questions. So they're capable of extreme violence. You look at these people in the eye, they're demonic. I remember looking at one guy, he was involved with the refugees are welcome protest, but this guy, refugees are welcome here as long as it's not in his neighbourhood. This upper class, college educated with his Taylor Swift degree swine. He was looking me in the eye. He's staring at me in the eye, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, there's nothing behind those eyes, like, and the smell of them, the smell of the whole crowd of these Antifa people. They're not. You have to understand Antifa. Antifa aren't anti-fascist. I am anti-fascist. I'm against fascism. Most people here would be against fascism, but these people are fascists. Fascists try to control speech, which is Antifa. Fascists murder people, Antifa. Fascists try to control the narrative, Antifa. Fascists use aggression for a political means, Antifa. Antifa are the real fascists. They're not anti-fascist. They are fascist. They're just they want fascist. It's like a hybrid version of fascism. Where instead of where they want the pure Aryan race, they want the eradication of that. It's like the opposite of what the Austrian painter was, but at the same time they're very similar because they use the similar tactics. Those people would put us in concentration camps if they could. Jude, how's things, mate? Haven't seen you in a hot second. Like, I'm just out of work here, mate, and as I said to the people, I looked down at my phone this morning and seen that there was they give me my channel back after 2 years of fighting. So woke culture is officially dead. Fuck woke culture. Fuck Dylan Mulvaney. Who else can we say fuck to? Fuck Keir Starmer. Fuck Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil in the south of Ireland. Actually, I'll go as far to say fuck Sinn Féin. Fuck Sinn Féin too. They're a bunch of dirty traitors. I don't like them either. Fuck the DUP. The constitution in Ireland right now is not my constitution. That is an emergency anglicised constitution that was brought in just before World War II. Our real constitution is the Bunrock 1937, which directly states Jesus Christ. And Ireland's being destroyed politically. Racism's through the roof. Wokeism's through the roof. The divide is through the roof. And there seems to be nobody out there telling the truth. Well, there's a lot of people out there telling the truth, but you have to understand why has Plain Jane went from a non-racist individual to somebody who's worried about the future for her children and has got disdain for Arab and African immigrants coming into the country, because it's happening in a mass scale. No, if somebody came to me and says, I hate this individual because of the colour of their skin, I wouldn't want anything to do with that person. But if somebody comes to me and says, I'm worried about the fact that we're only 8 million of a population on this little island. We don't live on a continent, folks. We live on an island. And they're coming in by the hundreds of thousands. And if you speak up about that, your government calls you far right. That doesn't make you a racist. That makes you a logical thinking human being. If you go back to, say, for an example, Joe Biden. If you looked at Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, the neocons, the Republicans, the bigwigs, the Democrats within the United States of America back in the day, they had rhetoric that would be considered far right, but it wasn't far right, it was logical thinking. That's why a lot of Democrats and liberals today are looking at the likes of Starmer and the likes of Joe Biden, and they're going, well, they're not libertarians, they're not Democrats. These people are far leftists. These people are communists. We have a serious communist problem within. And listen, I'm not saying that I'm not a full-blown capitalist. Like, I think we need to keep a check on everything. But Ireland, this is the state of Ireland right now. You have these dumb educated, these dumb college educated retards. And I don't say that, I say that nicely. I don't mean that somebody with the disabilities. I'm allocating that word to somebody who's got the capability of critical thinking but doesn't use it, right? But you've got these dumb college educated idiots that advocate for communism, but also advocate for mass migration. But if you look at mass migration, who does that benefit? The most extreme capitalistic people on this island, i.e. the big landlords, the vulture funds, and all these people that are housing them. Big landlords, big hoteliers, use these dumb communists to advocate for more of these people to come in so they can monetize them. What you're actually witnessing today is modern day slavery. We're witnessing modern day slavery with the hotels being bought up. The southern government in Ireland ripped out a fairy tree. Listen, I'm not taking away Christianity. That's a part of our paganistic history. They ripped out a fairy tree in Clonmel to build a migrant centre. I want you to think about that. Anybody from Ireland will tell you, you don't go near a fairy tree, regardless of how much you're a Christian or a Catholic. You don't go near a fairy tree. They ripped it out. That was symbolism. They're telling you, we want to destroy everything that you hold dear. So fuck every single one of them. And, Michael Collins, Devil Era, Bobby Sands, our Irish heroes did not die for us to sell our land to the fat cat capitalistic bastards in Europe. Yes, let's have healthy migration. Let's welcome people in, but let's take away the financial incentives for migrants to sit on their hole all day in hotels and paid accommodation, and give the financial incentives to our own people, our own homogenous tribe of people, so they have a financial incentive to raise a family and they don't take off to the likes of Australia and Canada. It's as simple as that. There's no racism in there. There's black people that are living in Ireland, right? There's black people in Ireland right now. Some of them here longer than some white people. So for me, it's not about race. This isn't about a race thing. We have a political corruption problem that's giving financial incentives to foreign individuals and taking the financial incentives away from their own homogenous people that they are supposed to represent. Think about that. And you're called a far-right racist for saying that. If hundreds of thousands of white Irishmen were in Africa getting money from the Zambian government or wherever, pick your nation, and they were just sitting in hotels, people would be like, what's going on here? This is wrong. So it works both ways. Cheers, Tanner. I appreciate that, mate. My first subscriber since being back. Give me 2 minutes, I just want to grab my water. Yes, mate, listen, I've been flicking through you. I don't really comment on YouTube too many times, but I see you live and I would watch you now and again. Sometimes I don't really comment too much. I should do that more, but I always like your stuff, and I'm always flicking by, and if I'm doing nothing, I'm just, I'll sit and listen to you. I'm happy for your success too, Jude, and keep up the good work, mate. But so I want to do this most nights with you. So if I can do it like 3, 4 nights a week, like I look tired because I have been doing 9 to 10 hour shifts 6 days a week. A lot of shit's happened in my life, folks. Like here's me. I'm talking about fucking. I'm gonna say about mental health, but I don't have mental health issues, and I fixed my mental health issues by hard work, dedication, bulletproof mindset, not giving a fuck what any other cunt thinks of me. And it's as simple as that, folks. If there's anybody watching this, you really need to understand this, right? You're going to be put into many positions in your life. And I had this conversation with a family member actually yesterday, and a very, very intelligent person. And I said, look, you just need to jump off that cliff into the ice cold water. And if you don't, what do I mean by that? I don't actually mean jump off a cliff. No, I don't mean that. I'm saying that in life, you have to take the risk. Take as many risks as possible, because you're going to look back 20, 30, we're here for a very short time. In 100 years' time, nobody's going to give a fuck about you. So make sure you have a bulletproof mindset. Take every opportunity as it comes. If you're in a very sticky, messy situation, walk away, no matter what it is. So yeah, yeah, mate. Listen, you do your own thing, mate. You always say that I helped you and stuff. Yeah, I got you on, and it was a pleasure getting you on. But mate, you helped me too. You came on and told your story, and I appreciate that, Jude. You have your own way of doing things. I had my way of doing things, but you tweaked it, mate. You've been doing well, which is good. I'm glad to see. But yeah, I can't believe it. All bullshit aside, I can't believe it. I'm back after 2 years. Like, I've told you the brief story of it, but if you've got the full story of what actually happened to me leading up to that, like, I appealed my channels, Google's decision to take down my account. There was a stage there I couldn't even have a Google Gmail. I think it was for like 3 months. My Gmail was acting funny and nothing was accepted, and I had to send them an email about that, and they actually allowed me to use an email. And then I created another account called Stray Cabbage, and they took that down for circumvention, which is unheard of. Trickery and deception. They tried to say that I was a trickster, coming back onto YouTube. I never hid my face. I had my face out there for everybody to see. I didn't know you couldn't start a new YouTube channel if you were banned once, but apparently that's the way it is. But you need to understand how YouTube works, right? They cling on to a narrative. So for instance, Trump's in now and he's putting pressure on Google, so they're gonna allow a lot of people back onto the platform. But for instance, if a Democrat gets into the United States of America for the president next in 2028, then what's going to happen? They're going to go back to censorship again. That's the way things work. It's people have no idea what it's like working. I've had two years and about 6 different appeals. Like, and whenever I say appeal, I would wait a month or two and appeal again. I would keep appealing, and this time I appealed, but I appealed differently because I knew that Trump was putting pressure on them. And they give me my YouTube channel back. You see, people need to understand. They told YouTube released a statement on the X saying that we're not giving you your channel back. We're going to allow you to create a new channel for previously politically persecuted people on the platform that we politically persecuted. But they didn't do that with me. They give me my channel back. So somebody has... My channel was sitting on appeal for the past 2 weeks. Somebody has watched nearly every single one of my videos and said, what the fuck? Why did we ban this guy? So YouTube, Google must have revamped a lot of the woke, liberal bullshit within their ranks. Done an Elon Musk, told them to get the fuck out and hired some fucking, men and decent women in the place that aren't woke. Get the radical feminists out, get the fucking woke crowd out, get all those fuckers out and just have normal people in there. But this channel here, I never really used this channel for political talks. I did and it didn't. It's my stray cabbage one that I'm going to be getting back. I've appealed that too, so I will be getting that back, because obviously that one got taken down because I lost this one and I got done for circumvention. So I'm going to get my stray cabbage one back, and I'll probably do a lot of politics talk on that one. I actually preferred my stray cabbage one, I'm not going to lie to you. I like that. Not that I don't like you guys, it's just this one was locked up in the Decahiggy demographic, full of, YouTube's very demographic based, do you know what I mean? Once you're locked into a demographic, it's very hard to get out. But I might put out a load of reaction videos to this. Danny, hope you're well, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's 2 years, nearly 2 years, mate. Just back from a ban of 2 years because of Donald Trump putting pressure on Google to reinstate people's channels that were politically persecuted on the YouTube app. And YouTube give me my channel back. But I'm living in a new place. I've got a new job. I'm working like fuck. I'm working like a paddy on a building site. That's what I'm working like. Because I'm basically a paddy on a building site. Well, I'm not on a building site anymore, but I'm still working like a paddy on a building site. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to do a talk on education, the psychological operation that is education. There's Solway coming in. Danny. Oh yes, mate, you have been following me on X. I haven't really been doing a lot on X though, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like X, there's total freedom of speech, but I do feel on X, here's my view on the whole thing on X, right? So you've got these individuals on X, and you have to understand that there's many foreign entities, Islamic and Jewish, paying people to promote their propaganda on X. And if you don't toe the line with, say, if you're anti-Israel, well then you're a Zionist. Or if you don't toe the line in regards to, pro-Islam, well look, you're Islamophobic. And I don't really give a fuck about any of these cunts, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pro-Ireland. I'm neither for the Arabs or the Jews. I'm for my pagan and Catholic brethren from the homogenous tribe of Era. Do you know what I mean? And everybody else can go and fuck themselves. Well, not everybody else. I've got love for the European people and the Americans and things like that. But it's like people are so shocked at the whole Israel-Palestine thing. Like, it's like people only realize that Palestine existed or Israel existed. It's like, do you not understand that that's how they've been treating each other for thousands of years, or for hundreds of years at least? That's the way they treat each other. It's barbaric, and people get involved in all this shit. And I'm like, well, how does this benefit Ireland? Yes, you can call it out. You can be unhappy about the Palestine situation. I am, but what good will that do? We need to be fighting for Era. We need to be fighting for the homogenous tribes of Era. And it's as simple as that. All I'm going to say is, here's a bit of homework for you, right? Who runs two of the biggest mass migration NGOs on this island? Research that. Research that. But Israel's allowed to be an ethno-state. I get you. Now that will get you banned. Let's flick through X, right? I haven't been on X in 4 hours. Here we go, right? So here's the first thing that pops up on my X, right? With the tribe of Alba, what's that? Is that short for something? Danny, I don't know if your comment was allowed on the screen there. I tried to show it. It says all you said was superb, mate. I've been following you on X, and it keeps saying another moderator just handled this. But here's the first thing that pops up in X, right? This cunt here. I'm gonna teach you the psychology of these bastards, right? Barack Obama, right? So he's going on about congratulations to the new Nobel Peace Prize, some bullshit, right? Nobel Peace Prize, right? Oh, Scotland. Oh, here it's Scots. But people don't realise. I was talking about this with my brother the other night. He informed me about how the Scots were one of the most targeted, especially in regards to their language, their Gaelic. They, there's so much untold history of Scotland. But let me tell you about Barack Obama. This cunt here comes out and starts speaking about Israel and Palestine yesterday, right? This fucker dropped more bombs in the Middle East than any other president, I believe. I think it was maybe drone strikes. He killed more children within the Middle East. And he's out here talking about Israel and Palestine as like he's got the moral high ground. This is you have to understand the mind frame of these fuckers. %. I done a story about him. He has raked it in, that fella, Solway. He has raked it in. He has made millions off the back of it's modern day slavery, mate, 100%. It's a modern day. He's seen that the government was giving out basically unlimited funds to house foreign individuals on the island of Era, and he just fucking lapped it up. One of the biggest traitors to ever live and will go down as. There's Sean Wayne, the man himself. Look at that there, look. That tells you everything, doesn't it? Ivanka Trump. Look at that. Look at that. Now listen, I can recognise that I'm here because of Trump, because of Trump's rhetoric against the anti-woke. I agree with Trump. Eradicate all wokeness. Get rid of it. Men can't become women and women can't become men. If you are a transgender person, I will refer to you as a woman, but biologically you will never become the other sex. Get rid of all the woke shit. I agree with you. But then I look at Ivanka Trump and I see this. Look at that. All of them do this. Why do they do that? Dicey, folks. So here's another one, right? Let's talk about this here, right? Big Brother. So we've got Big Brother, right? Big Brother reality TV show throws a contestant out the side door for wrong speak. Right, this is what he said, right? Let's listen to this here.
Yeah. Despite George, before you entered the Big Brother house, the rules regarding unacceptable and offensive language and behaviour were explained to you.
Yeah. What was it?
Big Brother has warned you on several separate occasions about your language, including issuing you with a formal warning.
Yeah.
Despite this, at 6:22 p.m. yesterday, in a conversation about conspiracy theories, the words you used broke the rules regarding unacceptable and offensive language on multiple occasions. George, Big Brother thinks that your repeated use of offensive language in the house, including during yesterday's conversation, is unacceptable. Big Brother cannot permit you to use language in a manner which is likely to be considered offensive by housemates or the viewing public.
Understood.
Despite the prior warnings and the opportunities we have given you to adjust your language in the house, you have persisted in using offensive language, and as a result, Big Brother has no choice other than to remove you from the house.
They removed somebody from Big Brother. Who watches Big Brother, by the way? Because he talked about conspiracy theories? Like, does that not tell you everything you need to know? So fuck Big Brother. I mean, anybody that's watching that show, you would have to be vaccinated to watch that show. You're probably double vaxxed with Johnson and Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna, and the whole heap to even contemplate watching that show. And now they've kicked out one of their contestants because he talked about conspiracy theories. It's his fault for going on the show, so I blame him. He actually went on the show, so it's his fault, I'm not going to lie to you. Or did he show support to Nigel Farage? Look, to be honest with you, Nigel Farage is a prick, right? He's controlled opposition, he isn't what he says he is. But regardless, if somebody supports Nigel Farage or talks about conspiracy theories, you shouldn't be kicked off a reality TV show. You know, the clue's in the title there, it's called reality TV. It's supposed to represent reality. But no, they don't want that type of reality. Too much reality, conspiracy theories. We can't be talking about mass migration, mRNAs, and woke culture. You know, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Yes, mate, I can see all your comments. I can see them all. I can see all comments. There's user unknown. Hope you're well. Is that, what's that say? Look at the head on me. Yes, mate, all good. The head on you. Look at that. It's right to the skin, boy. Right to the skin. But poor old Carrot Top here got fucked out of Big Brother, like. Well, it is what it is. It's his fault for even going on such a pathetic waste of space show. But there's 49 minutes. I'll maybe do a longer one tomorrow night or the next night. I have to get my information back. You see, I'm not really in the game much. 8-ball head. Nah, to be honest with you, just had to whack it off, like. Right, folks. I appreciate you tuning in. Remember to give it a share anyway. I'm gonna be doing a few more videos. I'm gonna put out a couple of videos on here talking about stuff. When my Stray Cabbage channel gets reinstated, I'm going to be posting more political stuff over there, like my takes on stuff, and I'll post reaction videos over here. But I appreciate all the people that came in, and thank you very much.